What if I told you you can make more gains in less time and it doesn't require you sticking a needle into your skin and it doesn't require you to take any weird kind of supplement? And no, it's not testosterone. I had a guy recently in one of my free communities talking about how he's a student, he has work, he has a bunch of like extracurricular stuff. And because the school year is starting, I'm going to school literally today. So it's like a thing for everybody, and I'm implementing this also. He doesn't have time. He doesn't have time for training. He also is struggling with making his workouts as intense as they used to be because as you get better into body weight, if you don't know, this is more so like a calisthenics channel. Obviously, if you find value from this, you can stay here. But like if you choose to like subscribe or whatever, just choose it and realize that this is like more so calisthenic stuff. He only had access to like basic push-ups and he could do like 40 plus, good technique, like even on blocks, like deep ranges of motion and stuff. He was able to do like 20 pull-ups. He was able to do tons of different bodyweight movements and nothing was difficult for him anymore. I came in and I had a little light bulb. And this is the thing that I love about like online communities and thing is that when you have someone like me who has been around this for a while, has been around like exercise and training for a while. If you don't know me, these medals back here, I was a national level volleyball player. I have a wrestling plaque somewhere that isn't in frame. I was a varsity wrestler. I also wrestled out of state. I live in the United States, so going from state to state is like an impressive thing, I guess. I've done pretty good with sports, and this is probably one of the most time efficient, high quality methods, and honestly, it's just ridiculously fun methods for saving a ton of time and also getting tons of hypertrophy in the process. And this method is called, I'm not going to hold it from you any longer, it's called myoreps. Basically, what they are is, I forget who made them. It was like by a Polish exercise science doctor guy. But essentially, if you know what a rest pause is, it's something very similar. Myoreps, it's the idea of, let's say you're doing push-ups, for example, and you can do 20 push-ups, which is still like the higher end of like the hypertrophy range. You do 20 push-ups. That's close to your absolute maximum. Let's say you could have maybe did like 21, maybe 22, something along those lines, but you would have fell around 20 to 22. You rest 1 minute. That's not enough rest to do 20 again. Now what you would do is you would go down, you would do push-ups, same techniques, and again, you would modify your technique in this case if like you're doing body weight movements more specifically because you want them to be harder rather than easier. You would do the push-ups again. This time you might get 14. Cool. You rest 5-10 seconds, do another 4. Now you're at 18. Rest 5-10 seconds, you do another 2. Those last 2 are kind of easy, but it's still close to failure. The point is, it's like doing a bunch of mini sets within a set. So you can think of like one myorep set because it's multiple approaches to failure, and it's kind of like going past failure in that weird way. It's multiple times where you're like just edging like edging the bit of failure. Think about it as like 1.7 sets. So it's not quite the same as like a 1-to-1 conversion. Like if you were to do 3 rounds of, you did as many reps as you can and then you paused, did as many reps as you can and paused, did as many reps as you can and paused up until 20 again. It's probably not 3 sets. It's probably more like 2 to 2.5 sets equivalent. But the thing is, it saves so much time and you can do this so much more. Now what you can do is you do another set. So last time you paused twice. So you got to 14 and then 17, and then on third round before you paused again to rest for another full 1 or 2 minutes, you only pause twice. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing, but it's going to be harder because you have less rest. What you would do is 11, let's say, 15, 17, 19, 20, boom, done. You get multiple approaches to failure within a specific period of time. And it's so much faster because you've realistically done like 8 working sets, which probably convert to closer to 6. But it only took the time as like 3 sets plus its low rest time. So you're able to fit more volume into one block. And that's the most important thing, especially for hypertrophy training, is how much volume can you fit into one period of time before you get way too tired to where your work just isn't productive anymore. This is not for strength training. This can be used for endurance, which is interesting enough. So this would actually work very well for like body weight training where the weight doesn't change. Obviously, you'd want to like change some things up. This does work decently well for endurance, but what you should prioritize this for is hypertrophy training. So let's say you've been doing strength training for a while, school's starting, you don't really have a lot of time. Take this as a period or you're just busy in general, to be honest. Take this as a period to do a hypertrophy phase. So in like sports, for example, I was an athlete before anything. We would do hypertrophy phases, or I would do hypertrophy phases. I wasn't in any like advanced enough program to where the coaches would do it for us. At least no coach I knew did it well. You would do hypertrophy phase, then a strength building phase, and then a power building phase. So you would phase in and out from building a ton of muscle, making that muscle ridiculously strong, and then being as explosive and as powerful as possible, which is like jumping high and punching hard and all that kind of stuff. Take this as your hypertrophy phase. You've been doing mostly strength training for a while, higher rest times, lower reps, all that time. If you're busy, if school's starting up, if you can't just seem to have the amount of time, or for specific movements, you just want to get them done because like you want the lateral raise, shoulder hypertrophy, but you don't want to spend an extra 10 minutes doing the movement, spend another 4 or 5, really cook it, and then go. This is not for strength training. This is more so for hypertrophy. If you're interested in like calisthenic courses or calisthenic communities, all that, I have a free community. First link in the description is more so for beginners. And if you're more advanced in your knowledge, or you just want the more advanced stuff now so you can use that knowledge to progress, then that will be the second link in the description. That's been everything. My name has been Brandon. Keep doing the best, doing your best. Trust God. Signing off.